Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday and London has just opened, so this is what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna go through my instrument scanner to see which pairs have an interesting trade for me. This is the instrument scanner. This is the target calculations using a mathematical formula to calculate the targets, and EURUSD has a 78% chance of hitting the target. It has moved 47% of the average daily range, and that is 571 points out of 1,194. 1,194 is the average how much EURUSD is moving. So I'm gonna click on the symbol name and it opens a chart, and I have the trade spider already attached to it with the automatic stop loss and take profit, and the orange line is the target and the stop loss is each of these are the stop losses for each position, because we have 5 positions. If I change this to 3, we have like this, but I like to have 5 positions. My total risk is 1,500, which is roughly 1.5%, and my target is 1%. We have seen an uptrend here for the last couple of days. We might see this might be just a little pullback before it continues up, or it will move down. We will see about that. We missed the target yesterday, we missed the target 2 days ago, but otherwise we have hit the target almost every day. I want to wait a little bit. We have just seen this push down now, and I wanted to move up a little bit, maybe up to this area before I take the trade, if I take the trade. It all depends on how the price action is moving. If it just continues down, I miss the trade, then I take another one. You can't FOMO in just because you see this move towards the target. So I want to see a little pullback, and the reason I want to see a pullback is because if I enter now and we have a pullback up here, I might lose the trade. But if I unclick automatic stop loss and I double click the entry line and I get an entry like this, then my target will be increased, so is my stop losses, something like this. So you see, all of a sudden, my last target and my last stop loss, my end station, is up here. Which this little move up, if I wait for it, I will have so much better risk to reward for the stop loss and the target. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna wait for. I'm gonna wait for this and see what happens with the price. I move on to the next one, GBP USD. Similar situation here, but slightly better. But we had a push down here as well, so I move up a little bit before I take this entry, just to have a slightly better stop loss size. So I maybe end up with a stop loss up here somewhere. USD CHF, this has the same move too much towards the target. We have seen this big push without any retracement, without any pullback, and now we see a pullback. If we move down here and get an entry like this, you see all of a sudden I have a stop loss down here. I do not want to enter after this big push because it will most likely pull back a little bit before going up, if it goes up. USD JPY, same situation here. We had a little push up and then down and now up again. But I would like a little bit go down again if I take this trade. AUD USD, yeah, they all look very similar, so I don't need to talk about each and every one of these. This is a nice trade because here you see that the end station, the last stop loss, is at the ADR high. So if the price is not moving up to the ADR high, or if it's going for the ADR low today, then we have a pretty safe stop loss up here. So if we have a trade like this, maybe enter like this, then we even have a stop loss outside of the ADR high. And what's good about that is that if the price moves up, it can actually move up here and then turn down again, and we can get out of break even or even win the trade. Because if we're ending up at the 4th position, our target will be roughly around here. So we can win the trade even if it doesn't move all the way down. So this is what I do every day. I go through every pair and I decide on which one I want to trade. There's no rocket science to the entry. The strength with this strategy is the mathematical calculation of the profit target and the position management, where we split each trade into multiple positions. And the reason for this is that even if the price moves against us, we have a good chance of coming out at a profit target that is closer to the last entry. So we don't need to reach the full target that we had for the first position. And that is the good part. Or we can decide to, okay, let's move fast to position 3. I don't want to stay in this because we see I have a momentum to downside. So I decide to close it at break even. And we just need a little bit push up before we close it at break even. Forex pairs has a tendency to have a slightly higher hit rate on the target that we calculate using a mathematical formula. And the stock indices has slightly lower. US 100 72%, and yeah, we don't even have one at 72. CAD JPY 73%, but otherwise it's roughly 75 to 80%, which is pretty good. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, 75% chance of hitting our target. Let's look at it. I prefer not to take the trades that's already been very close to the target, the orange line, today, because I've seen it so many times that it's barely been to the target a couple of hours ago, and I take the trade and it never reaches the target. I've seen this many times, but that's just me. I mean, you do whatever you want. Learn from your before and after screenshots. That's the most important thing you do. You analyze your before and after screenshots. That's taken automatically by the Trade Spider. And you find them by clicking File, Open Data Folder, MQL5, and Files. Here you see Start, Stop, Start, Stop. And you can analyze them. It's very simple, and it's very important to do that. That's how you learn to improve your entries. What do we have more? Yeah, this is strange. I mean, USD, Poland. You see, it warns me it's too high spread anyway because we're pretty close to the target already. Yeah, you see here, this is the spread. It's eating up more than half of the stop loss size. So if I enter this trade now, I'm thankful for the Trade Spider to warn me before that, because otherwise, when I enter the trade, it's halfway already to the next position. And I don't want that. If you want to ignore this warning, you can change that in the input settings. Okay, that's all for today. I'm gonna look at EURUSD, GBP, USD to see what happens if we get a pullback, and then I will enter the trade. Up until then, have a nice day. Peace.